This is the logon page to the OneView system. We enter our username, our password, and then hit the Log On button. We land on the executive dashboard, from where we can control all the functionality of the system. Each of these icons provides access to the integrated apps. For example, we click here to use the call center app, which provides us with access to the call center functionality. We click here to manage the distribution of our products, and here to see the single view of the customer, and so on across the interface. In this video, we are interested in looking at the Sparta marketing system, so we click here to open the marketing app. As we can see, there are no marketing segments set up yet, so the first thing we want to do is to create our first segment. We see that we have 194,267 clients in the database. The default selection contains everything about all these clients, including details about their age, gender, what policies they have bought, what marketing campaigns they were involved in, the channels they use to buy products, what claims they have made, where they live geographically, what quotes they have received, what products they have bought in the past, what is their credit risk, how often do they visit company websites, have they opted out of marketing campaigns, and so on. All these options are listed here, and we can select any of these to create our segments. So let's begin by creating the first rule for our segment selection. We want to select all the clients who are aged 30 years and older. So we click here and select 30. We save this as our first rule. We see that we have 50,302 clients in the database who are aged 30 years and older. If we click here, we see that we can remove this selection rule and return to the original 194,000. If we click this box again, we reinsert the selection rule and return to the 50,000 clients who are 30 years and older. The next selection rule we want to create is for those who have a premium of €400 or more. To do this, we click Policies and then Annual Premiums and type in the number 400 into our range. And then we save this new rule. We now have two rules created, and we find that we have 23,234 clients who match this selection. Next, we want to select those whose policies will expire in April. So we click on the Cover Expiry Date tab and select the start date as the 1st of April. And then we select the end date as the 30th of April. We save this new rule. The rule is added to our list, and we see that there are 12,795 who match this revised selection. We now create our last rule, those who have bought the car insurance product. We go to the Product tab and then select the product type. We could select the default, which is all products, but we click this drop down to get a list of all the products in the system. We could click Advanced and select only those clients who have bought through a particular channel, but we want all channels, so we touch nothing here and just close this window. We select the car insurance product only and save this as our fourth rule. We now click here to view our 4 rules. Clients aged 30 plus, who have an annual premium of 400 plus, whose policies expired between the 1st of April and the end of April, who have bought the car insurance product. We see here that we have 4,291 clients in our database who match these selection rules. We click here to set up a new segment based on these rules. We type in the name of the segment and click Setup. The segment has now been created in the system. We can finish by clicking here or setting up another segment, but we will continue to the next step in our process and set up a marketing campaign targeted at this new segment. We see we have only one segment, this one here that we have just set up, and we see that there is no campaign for this segment. We click here to set up a new campaign. Here is our segment that has the 4,000 clients, selected based on the 4 rules that we created. We put in a name for this campaign and click the Setup button. Every segment can have multiple campaigns, and every campaign can have multiple stages. This is stage 1 of our campaign. It will be an email, although it could be text or a telephone call or a letter. It will be a full campaign, which means we will include all the 4,000 clients in the campaign, although we could have created test and trial instead. The tracking system we will use will be the promo code, although we could use random numbers. Lastly, we will elect to control this campaign ourselves, so we will select manual here, although we could request the system to run the campaign automatically every week or every month. Based on these parameters, we now click to set up stage 1 of the campaign. At this stage, we have a number of choices. We could export the list of clients in this campaign to a spreadsheet and then upload into Microsoft Outlook or some other email or text messaging system. We could also export it to Cheetah Mail. We could stop now and leave the campaign in the pending list for somebody else to complete. For this demo, we will pick the last option and continue and set up the marketing message for the campaign. Now we must select which of the templates we wish to use for creating our email. We will select this one and press Continue. This is the email template we have picked, and we now fill in the details into the template. First, we put in a banner. We click here, go to our computer hard drive, and select the banner we want to use. In this instance, it is a banner offering a 10% discount. With the banner installed, we now type in the text for the email and select the fields we want to insert. The first one is the personal details, so we click here. Where we see a name surrounded by 2 arrows, like this one here, the system will insert the individual details for each email. So, for example, the system will insert here the first name of each person. Then we select another database item, this time the product, car insurance. Then the renewal date field and the name of the website where the customer will go to buy the product. Then we scroll down to the tracking tag for inserting the promo code field. Now we have completed filling in the email template. We click the Content Finished button, and the email is created here and is ready to send. We click Send Email, and the system sends the email to the 4,291 people in the segment. We now log out of the system. Here we see a copy of the email that was sent out to everybody in our list. When the client gets the email, they click and jump to the website. They type in the promo code, and the sale of this policy is now linked to the marketing campaign, so we can tell how successful this campaign was. A few weeks have passed, and we now log back on to the OneView system. Again, we go to the marketing app. When we click here, we see the April campaign that we set up earlier. We click the Actions button and the campaign results, and we see a summary of the results of the campaign to date. We have converted 43% of the quotes, and 25% of these conversions have bought policies. The sum of premiums is €250,000, which is an average of €235 per policy. We now want to target the people who did not buy policies yet. So we set up a new stage for our campaign, Stage 2. This time we will use a text message and target the 3,211 clients who did not buy a policy yet. We click Setup and are presented with the same options that we had before. Again, we select Continue, and this time we are shown the text message template. As before, we construct the message by selecting the database fields and placing them in our template. The personal details first, then the data field for car insurance, then the website, and finally the tag for the promo code for tracking the result. We scroll down and click Continue. The text message is set up, and when we're happy with it, we click Send. The message is sent to the approximately 2,000 people who did not buy a policy yet, and then we log out. This is the text message that is sent to all the people in our group. A number of weeks later, we log on again to the system and again go to the marketing app. We click the Action button and then the Campaign Results button. This time we see the sales results for Stage 2 of our campaign. We see that we got a much better result with the text campaign. A 73% conversion rate for quotes and a 49% for policies sold. Here we see the overall result. In total, 50.9% conversion for quotes and 61% for policy conversions, although we see that our average premium has dropped to €222. We log out again. A few weeks later we log in once more and go to the marketing app. We select Actions and Campaign Results. This time we see that we ran earlier Stage 3 and Stage 4 of the campaign, and the results of each of these stages are provided. One was a call centre telephone campaign and the other was an email. When we click this radial button, we see a graph of the results, and we can now compare how successful each stage of the campaign was. Again we log out, and a number of weeks later log on again, and again go to the marketing app. This time we see that we have created 33 segments. For this campaign we see that we run a renewals campaign every month automatically. For the second segment we see that we ran a bicycle policy selling campaign. For the Bridge Association we see that we ran 4 separate campaigns. One for health insurance, another for bicycle, another for holiday, and finally one for pet insurance. Now we look at something else. Imagine we've gone to a company called MapFlow, and they have given to us their customer database, and we want to set up a campaign and sell to the people in this list our insurance products. We click the Import New Database button and type in the name, and then browse to where we have a copy of the file on our computer. We then select the database and click Next Step. The system will quickly analyze the number of people in the list, and when we click Upload, it will transfer the names in the database into our system. Here we see an overview of the imported database. When we click on All the Segments tab, we see that the system has automatically set up a new segment that contains the names of the people from the database. Click here and then click the new campaign button, and we can create a new campaign that will target this new group. This time we'll make the campaign a test and trial, which means we will trial two versions of the campaign with two small test groups to find out which is the most successful. When we click Setup, we see this test and trial setup interface. We see that we have 10,240 people in total in this database. We decide what percentage of this group will be used for the trial. Let us say we select 5%. The system automatically sets up the B segment to be the same percentage, although we can adjust this if we wish. We see that our 5% selection puts 500 people in each trial group. We also want this 500 people to be selected at random, so we select random in our selection method box. We also notice that we have 9,240 people left to target with a successful campaign after the trial is completed. Now we save this setup. The next step is to set up the A trial. Again, we must select the email template we wish to use and click the Continue button. As before, we go to the browser to select the banner. This one is for a competition to win a holiday in Australia. We fill in the rest of the details and click the Content Finished button. When we are happy with the email, we click Continue and send the email. The email is sent automatically to the 500 people in our test list. Our next step is to set up the B trial. Again, we select the template and go to the browser, where we select another banner, this time for a 10% discount. What we are looking to see is which banner works best: the email with the banner for the draw for the trip to Australia, or the offer of a 10% discount. When we have finished setting up the other details, we click the Content Finished button, check that we are happy with the email, click Continue and send this email. The system automatically sends this second trial to the second group of 500 people. We then log out. A few weeks later, we log in again, and as before, go to the Marketing app. We select the MapFlow database, click on the Action button, and select See Campaign Results. This time we see that the system has calculated the result of the trial, and it is showing us in green that the A campaign, the one with the draw for the trip to Australia, delivered the best results. It sold 48% of the policies, whereas the B campaign only sold 25%. If we click in the Action button, we see that we can review the statistical results and mathematics used to compare the results from the two campaigns. Now we go back to the Action button, and by clicking this button we tell the system to use the successful trial for the rest of our campaign. We confirm that we want to target the remainder of our segment, the 9,240 clients who were not in the trial, and then push the Setup button. We confirm that the email is OK. We see that we are targeting the 9,000 odd clients, and we tell the system to send the emails. Here, the system confirms that the emails have gone out to our target group. Now we log out, and a few weeks later log in again, and again go to the Marketing app. We select the same database, and again look at the campaign results. This time, we see the results of our full campaign, and we see that it was a success because we got 46% of our new customers to buy policies. We log out, and a few weeks later log in again and go to the Marketing app. We have been using the system for a few months now, and we see that we have imported 13 databases. This section here is the contact control, where we tell the system not to send emails to people too often when they are included in too many databases.